Audrey Werro just did something no woman has done in over 40 years. She looked Keely Hodgkinson in the eyes, ran her down in the final stretch, and beat her. Keely still ran the fastest losing time in history. And what happened next changed the entire women's 800 meters forever. Let's go back to Stockholm. The date was June 7th. Nobody outside the sport expected this race to matter much. Keely Hodgkinson was the name everyone knew. Olympic champion, world indoor record holder, the face of women's middle distance running. She was supposed to win. That is what she does, but there was a Swiss athlete in that field named Audrey Werro. Just 22 years old, from a small town called Fribourg. She had talent, sure. She had a world under-20 silver medal. She had been coached by the same woman, Christiane Berset-Neufer, since she was 9 years old at a small local club. But nobody was calling her a threat to Keely Hodgkinson. Not yet. A few months earlier, at the World Indoor Championships in Torun, Werro and Hodgkinson had already shared a track, and the rest of the field could not keep up with either of them. Hodgkinson won gold. Werro took silver, her first podium finish at a major championship. It was a signal. Almost nobody caught it. The gun went off. The pacemaker took the field through the first lap in 55.54 seconds. That is blistering. That is world record pace. Most runners would have backed off right there. Werro did not. She tucked in behind the pace and stayed. Hodgkinson made her move on the final bend, the way she always does. She has built a career on that exact move. Hit the front, punish everyone behind her, and never look back. She led into the final straight. For a moment, it looked like business as usual. Then Werro came. She did not fade. She did not panic. She closed the gap stride by stride and blew past Hodgkinson right at the line. The clock stopped at 1 minute 53.98 seconds. Think about that number for a second. The last time a woman ran under 1 minute 54 seconds was over 4 decades ago. Werro just became the first woman this century to do it. She jumped to third on the all-time list. Third fastest 800 meters runner in the history of the sport. And here is the part that makes this even bigger. Hodgkinson did not run badly. She ran 1 minute 54.33 seconds. That broke her own British record. In almost any other race in history, that time wins gold. That time makes headlines on its own. In Stockholm, it was not even good enough for first place. It became the fastest losing time ever recorded in the women's 800 meters, 2 women, 2 of the 6 fastest times ever run. In the same race, after she crossed the line, Werro did not celebrate like you would expect. No fist pump, no scream. She just shook her head, like she could not believe what her own body had done. Later, she said the time felt crazy and that she needed time to process it. Hodgkinson handled the loss with respect. She said Werro pushed her to run faster than she ever had. She admitted Werro fought her all the way to the finish line. Then she added something that told you everything about her mindset. She said she would not let that happen again. That single sentence set the tone for everything that came after, because Werro was not done. Not close. Just weeks later, she lined up in Paris. This time, there was no Hodgkinson in the field to chase. It did not matter. Werro ran 1 minute 53.80 seconds. She broke her own personal best. She broke the Diamond League record again, and she moved to third on the all-time list outright, ahead of legends who held that spot for decades. Do the math on where that puts her. The all-time world record belongs to Jarmila Kratochvilova, a mark of 1 minute 53.28 seconds, set all the way back in 1983. That record has survived for over 40 years. Nobody has come close to it. Werro is now sitting just half a second away. Half a second in an event where careers are built chasing hundredths. She has become the fastest woman of the entire 21st century over 800 meters. Not the fastest young runner, not the fastest rising star. The fastest woman, full stop, in 25 years of racing. And this was not a one-time flash of magic either. Between Stockholm and Paris, Werro also won in Ostrava, beating a Dutch star who had just moved up to the 800 meters. She broke the European record in the 600 meters along the way too. Every single race, she looked stronger, not tired. That is the part that should worry every other runner in this event. Most athletes hit a peak and level off. Werro keeps finding another gear, and she is saying the world record out loud now. After her run in Paris, Werro admitted the record has become her next real goal. Not a dream for later in her career. A target she believes she can hit soon. Meanwhile, Hodgkinson has her own version of this obsession. Back in February, she broke the indoor 800 meters world record, a mark that had stood for 24 years, running 1 minute 54.87 seconds. That made her the first woman in her career to hold a world record of any kind. It also confirmed what everyone suspected. She was not satisfied with just being Olympic champion anymore. She wanted history. Her focus turned to the hour world record next, the same Kratochvilova mark that Werro is now hunting. Hodgkinson said openly that breaking it on home soil in front of a British crowd would mean everything to her. That brings us to the next chapter of this story. Hodgkinson lines up for the London Diamond League, closing out the meet in the women's 800 meters. This is where she gets her shot at outdoor history, on a track in her own country, in front of fans who have followed her since she was a teenager. She is not facing Werro there. Instead, she runs against Georgia Hunter-Bell and Femke Broders-Ball. But make no mistake, Werro's shadow is over that entire race whether she is standing on the track or not. Every split time, every lap, every second Hodgkinson chases in London will be measured against a 22-year-old Swiss runner who has already gone faster than almost anyone alive. The two of them are not done with each other, though. Not even close. Their next head-to-head clash is already locked in for the European Championships in Birmingham in August. That will be a home championships for Hodgkinson, on the same soil where she is chasing the world record. And it will be Werro's biggest chance yet to prove Stockholm was not a fluke. Here is what makes this rivalry so rare. These are not two veterans at the end of long careers clinging to old glory. Werro is 22, Hodgkinson is 24. They are both still improving. Both still finding new gears nobody knew they had. Hodgkinson herself said it best after Stockholm. She said it feels amazing that runners this young are already closing in on a world record that stood for over 40 years. Think about where this leaves the sport. For years, the women's 800 meters world record felt untouchable, a relic from 1983 that modern athletes could admire but never threaten. Now there are two women born 20 years apart from each other in age, but only 2 years apart in age themselves, both within striking distance of that mark. Both convinced they can be the one to finally take it down. One is defending her Olympic throne and racing for history on her home track. The other is the fastest riser the sport has seen this century. Hungry, fearless, and already unafraid to say the world record out loud. The women's 800 meters used to have one main character. Now it has a genuine rivalry, the kind that makes every race must-watch television. Every time these two step on the same track from now on, something historic feels possible. Fans used to tune in just to watch Hodgkinson win. Now they tune in wondering if anyone can actually stop her. And for the first time in years, the answer might be yes. Keely Hodgkinson is no longer running alone at the top. And after what Audrey Werro did in Stockholm and then backed up in Paris, the entire sport knows it. The only question left is who gets to that world record first.